The transfer portal, well, it's getting spicy. And it's pretty interesting who goes in, where they go. And we kind of have to talk about a specific player that I know Sooner fans and Sooner Nation is watching, and somebody that I'm personally watching because they're coming out of my home state and actually my hometown. But before we get into it, please go ahead, hit that like and the subscribe button. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments below. What are your guys' thoughts on the transfer portal? Do you like it? And what changes would you implement? Okay, so without any recent news, you all know that the 6'3", 240-pound junior from Oklahoma State on the defensive line, hailing from Edmond, Oklahoma, and my alma mater, Edmond Santa Fe High School, Trace Ford has entered the transfer portal after not having a terrible career with Oklahoma State. In 2019, this man held 29 total tackles. 20 of those were his own. He had 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 1 interception. In 2020, this man had 22 total tackles. 15 of those were his himself. He had 4.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. And you guys have to remember, in 2020, that was the shortened year. So those stats could have looked even better if he would have had the other 2 out of conference games. In 2022, it kind of fell off a little bit. 8 total tackles, 6 of those were his, 1 sack. But one thing that I continue to see here is this man is able to get to the quarterback. Now, Trace Ford, there are rumors that this man originally wanted to be at OU out of high school. He just wasn't recruited, and that was part of what the last staff did. They just didn't do a good job at recruiting in state and trying to keep some of these kids home. And ultimately, Trace Ford, he stays in state, but he goes to Oklahoma State. And now that he's in the transfer portal, on Thursday, he tweeted out a picture of him in Norman of Owen Field. And I know that this is a guy that Sooner fans, and I know myself, would love to see in a Oklahoma Sooners uniform. One thing about Trace Ford is, one of the really good things about Trace Ford is that I think you guys should be looking for is he loves to rush off the edge, and he has really good hands, and he's just an extremely physical player. So coming off that line, very rarely do you just see him get straight up blocked. Trace Ford is one of those guys that can come in and be a physical dominant athlete for the Sooners on that defensive line. And this is a guy that I think would excel in the Venables defense, and I think would just excel being a Sooner. So go ahead, jump down in the comments below. What do you guys think about Trace Ford? And do you think that he lands to be a Sooner and throughout the transfer portal?